Discipline is doing something that you know you need to do even when you do not feel like doing it. Now, discipline is a skill and a skill can be learned, but how do you learn the art of discipline? Well, we're going to be diving into that today. If you have not met already, my name is Carys. I'm a real estate broker here in South Florida. And if you enjoy all things real estate, social media, and self-development, then you will enjoy this channel. So make sure you subscribe, stick around, and join the family. Okay, if you want to learn how to master the art of discipline, then just keep on watching. Okay, now I consider myself a pretty disciplined person, but I didn't used to be. It is something that I have learned to build and grow over time. I once heard the quote that discipline is the highest form of self-love. And I think that that is so true, because the more that you are able to hold yourself accountable and follow through on the promises that you keep to yourself, it will build your confidence, it will build your self-love, and it will really help you grow into the person and the highest version that you can be. Now let's go into number one, and that is taking action despite of feelings. The thing is, when it comes to doing a certain decision, whether you decide, am I gonna do A or am I gonna do B? Most of the time we ask ourselves how we feel, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's eating a certain thing, whether it's going to a certain place, whether it's doing a certain activity for our business, we will ask how we are feeling of whether or not we want to do A or B. This needs to stop. You have to stop asking yourself how you feel before you do a certain thing. If you know that you are supposed to be doing 2 hours of lead generation for your business today, don't ask yourself, how do I feel? What do I want to? What should I do? And should I do this? If you know you need to be doing it, that is your decision. It doesn't matter how you feel. The thing is that we naturally give ourselves excuses. We give ourselves an out because we give ourselves time to ask ourselves how we feel before we do a certain thing. You might wake up in the morning and you know you need to go to the gym. Then you give yourself a chance to think about it. Well, you know, my hip kind of hurts and I don't have my shirt clean that I wanted to wear, and then I didn't do this. No. Do not give yourself a chance to talk yourself out of doing a specific thing that you know you need to be doing anyway. Our bodies and our brains are built for comfortability. Working out, eating healthy, doing uncomfortable things with our business. Our body will try and tell us not to do these things, but you know you need to. That is where the discipline comes in. It's doing it anyway, despite of how you're feeling. The second way to master the art of discipline is asking yourself what your highest self would do. This is something that I've learned to do over the last couple of years, is when it comes to making a decision on whether to do A or B, I ask myself, what would my highest self do? So for example, if I'm almost finished my workout and I think, and I know I need to do cardio, but I don't feel like doing cardio, I ask myself, what would the highest version of myself do? She would go and do the cardio and get it done. It can also play into things with your business. If you know you need to go and spend an hour and go and knock on some doors, what would your highest self do? They would get up and they would go and knock on them doors, and they would have confidence when they were doing it. They would accept rejection and they would have complete positivity doing that hour, knowing that they are working towards their business, knowing that they're working towards building up themselves to be that highest version. You need to act as if you already are that person. So what would that person do when it comes to what you're doing today? One thing that I did about a year ago is I wrote a note in my phone of my highest version of myself broken down into categories. What does she earn? What are her healthy habits? What does she train? What are her activities that she's doing? What is she learning? What is her mindset? What is she involved with? I broke down an entire version of me that I believe that God has called me to be this best version of myself. And every day I would do what I can to get myself closer into being that person. So when it comes to a decision of something you're debating on, ask yourself, what would my highest version of me do? The third thing that will help you build your discipline is habit stacking. Now, if you have not heard of habit stacking, it's gonna change your life. It is from the book Atomic Habits, and it's all about when you are trying to add on a new habit into your life, you stack it on top of a habit that you already have. So say, for example, you want to start reading more. Well, what is something that you do every day where you could attach that habit on something you're already doing? Well, If you sit and have coffee or tea, or maybe sit and eat your breakfast in the morning, that is your time that you're gonna sit and read. So you are attaching a new habit along with something that you are already doing. I have a lot of habits in my routine: morning, afternoon, and nighttime. I have them in a note on my phone in check boxes, morning, afternoon, evening, of habits that I have. And most of those, they are stacked onto each other to make sure that they are done and they are checked off. So think about things that you're trying to become more disciplined in. What do you need to put into your routine, and how can you attach it to something that you're already doing? The fourth way to master the art of discipline is to remove friction. Now, what is friction? Well, it's anything that could throw you off your game in order to stop you from doing what you know you need to do. Let me give you some examples. If you know you need to be eating healthy, remove the junk food from your pantry. Get it out of there. If you know that you need to wake up and get to the gym in the morning, set your clothes out the night before. Get your water filled up in the fridge, ready to go. Have your shoes there waiting for you. Remove any friction that could stop you from performing what you know you need to do. If it's for your business and you know you need to cold call in the morning, set everything up the night before. So all you need to do is come into your workspace, open your laptop, and your calls are there ready to go. Your headset is ready, it's charged, and all you have to do is sit down and get started. Removing the friction points is going to help you actually follow through on what it is you need to do. And number 5 is to embrace discomfort. Discipline helps us grow. It will build up who we are, but it's uncomfortable. And like I said, our brains and our bodies, they like to keep us in the comfort zone, but growth happens outside of that zone. Because we are wired for comfort and for safety, our bodies and our brains will just try and persuade us to stay comfortable, to stay in the safe zone. But in order to grow, you need to break out of that. How do you do that? You have discipline. So in order to embrace the discomfort, I'm a big believer in making things fun. Look at the things that you are trying to implement and how can you make them more enjoyable to the point that you don't despise having to be disciplined on certain things. For example, if you know you need to go to the gym, why don't you do a class instead? Have a friend meet you there, go and do a Pilates class, go and do a HIIT training, something that can make it more enjoyable to get yourself into the routine of exercising. Whether it be eating healthy, look up some healthy recipes that you can make something new and make a video about it. I love the piece of being able to create content around the things that I'm doing to make it more fun. So decide what it is that you need to be more disciplined in: health, fitness, business, relationships, friendships, mindset, growth, personal development. What is it that you need to be more disciplined in, that your highest version of you would be doing? Then figure out how you're going to put it into your schedule and stack it on things that you are already doing. Then remove any friction points of things that could hold you back from doing that certain thing. Then look at it and say, how can I make it just a little bit more fun? And do that. And then when it comes to doing it, take action despite of how you feel. Discipline is the highest form of self-love, and you will thank yourself for it the more that you learn to master this art of discipline. It will, hands down, change your life in all different aspects. So it is a skill that can be learned, and it's something that you will thank yourself for. So I want to know in the comments below, what is something that you are going to become more disciplined in? Drop it down there. I would love to see. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.